All right, guys, welcome back to Resorting to Retirement. We just wanted to check in this week. It's getting close to the end of the month, so I just wanted to touch in and let you guys know that I did read my book for the month. So I was just going to talk about it for a little bit. What I did read was Dirt Rich by Mark Podolsky. It was pretty interesting. It's an investment book, Dirt Rich, on land, like raw land investment, and how he creates a passive income from buying raw land. He does it by owner financing, which not everybody knows is a possibility, but he essentially, instead of getting a loan from a bank, he just finances it through him and comes up with the monthly payments for it. Pretty interesting. I mean, obviously it's his full belief on how to get rich. You know, everybody has their own belief system on how they think they can reach successful or passive income. And it was just one route that I personally looked into. It was he talked about different ways on how he messages counties to find out who is defaulting on their loans or defaulting on not paying their taxes on their land. And he will send out a minimum. When he started, he would send out like a minimum of 100 letters, personally handwritten letters to property owners, and offer them like just the craziest lowest price. And he would get reception at about 3 to 5%. So that means he would get about 3 responses out of 100, 3 to 5 responses out of 100
A month?
a week.
Oh, a week. Okay.
Yeah, he would send out 100 letters a week, trying to buy different land to create this passive income. So I mean, it's a lot of footwork, but if he's buying 3 a week, 12 a month isn't bad depending on how he's flipping. He got into it he bought his first couple plots of land at like $300 and flipped them for $1,200. So that's, it was a big return on investment. So he's like, okay, I think I could do this.
Yeah, especially just 300. I mean, that's not crazy to start out with.
Right. It's fathomable for anybody
Yeah.
to invest $300 in a plot of land.
Right.
To be able to turn it. And
I mean, people invest that in Roth IRAs a month. They put.
I mean, people spend that on the bar in one night.
That's true.
I mean, but we've seen $300 tabs on alcohol only.
Easy.
Yeah, between
Easy.
4 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somebody picks up the bill and pays for it. So $300 for a plot of land that you're about to flip for $1,200. I mean,
I'd rather make $1,200.
Right. You know what I mean? So that's how he got into it. And he's like, I think I could do this. So he bought some more land with some money that he saved up, continually bought more expensive land. But he also talks about how people get land sometimes and they don't know what to do with it because they inherited it. They, a family member is done dealing with it because they have so much that they might have inherited. Maybe they have like land different places and they can't afford to pay the taxes.
So you get lucky.
Yeah, sometimes he gets lucky, but when you're sending out 100 a week, I mean, you're bound to hit
something.
Yeah, a few lucky ones every once in a while. So he actually had a few plots just given to him.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, because they just did not want to pay the taxes on it anymore, and they were so far behind that they told him that if he just paid the liens on it, that he could have it. So,
what a come up.
Yeah, no, that's why I said that's why it's like it's his full belief. I mean, he believes like you have no tenants, you have no maintenance when you're buying the land, and eventually somebody's gonna want it. I mean, He had crazy scenarios that he accidentally bought land one time on the side of a mountain, and a movie director actually wanted to buy it to shoot a movie there because it was so much cheaper than shooting in Hollywood.
Wow.
And that's why because even when he was selling it, he's like, I got a full disclosure. Like, this is literally on the side of a mountain. And he said, yeah, I'm shooting some old Western film and it's honestly going to be perfect.
That's crazy.
He's like, so you have that, like, somebody's gonna want it.
Yeah.
Eventually, somebody's gonna want it for something. Is his whole thing, and
you just have to find the right person.
Right, somebody's gonna come along. I mean, his thing is as long as you advertise correctly and market correctly, that is one thing that he pushes too. That it's gonna sell. The right people just have to see it. He actually really encourages Craigslist.
I believe it.
For selling land. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought Craigslist. You know, people are usually like on Realtor or Zillow or whatever looking for land.
I don't know, you'd be surprised. It's kind of like all the old school Pokemon cards and toys and stuff. I feel like Craigslist is another place that people would go and post it.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on what you're looking for. I feel like there's a niche for everything. There's a place for everything.
Right. He said last resort was like eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Like last resort for selling land. He said if you're struggling real bad, you could put it on eBay and try to do like a little auction on it. But he also said you just got to stay like consistent with mailing out the letters. It's really hard to get into it. You know, it might take you 12 months before you find your first one, but once you figure out the system, you know, he says that, you know, once you get the ball rolling, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But really encourages that, you know, just the buy low, sell high aspect of it. I think it's a really good idea, but, you know, I still want to keep looking at different possibilities to invest in. I mean, obviously, if you came across something that you couldn't pass up that was that low, I would say take the opportunity on it. But overall, I'd give the book like probably like a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's probably 3 out of 5, just because it's more of like he's just telling you the idea and the footwork that's possible to do, but he's just trying to push his program at the end of it, because he's got like a whole like dirt rich program that you could do to be involved in and step by step show you how to do it. So at the end, he's kind of pushing that, but overall, just like learning the idea of, you know, how things are done. I mean, you could do it on your own, and he even says that, like, just from the information he gives in the book, that you could go out and do it on your own. But I mean, it'd be rough to get started for sure.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I think this tea is making me yawn. Well, that's solid. I think that it's an awesome book to start out with. You know, I feel like you're just trying to get more knowledge, and you're trying to...
I'm just getting ideas from different things. I mean, it's interesting just to see, like, how did he get rich? And then, you know, like, I'm always watching... How does
everybody else?
Yeah. Like, always watching Grant, like, his biggest thing is multifamily complex. Like, don't buy single family homes. Don't buy a fort, like a quadplex, basically. You know, he stresses that single family homes and quadplexes will be, you know, more of a downfall than taking you to the next level, that you really got to figure out how to get into multifamily complex. I'm pretty sure that like his minimum is like 16 tenants.
Oh, wow.
That he really pushes, like, as far as Grant goes. But that is his belief. Like, that's how he made his money, and how he, you know, got to where he's at through passive income is apartment complexes.
Right. Well, and I feel like everybody's going to have their own thing, and they're going to have what works for them, and they're going to push that, you know?
Right.
I think all people who are like, I made $1 million off of this, you know, they all are like, this is the best thing. No, this is the best thing. This is the best thing. I think it really comes down to what's actually suitable for you and your lifestyle. So... Right. Just even reading this starting out, I think to have it under your belt and to have more knowledge is just a good starting point, you know?
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, you have an influencer on Instagram and they're a millionaire. Like, obviously they're going to be like, oh, influencing is the way to go. Like, right. This is it.
Because it worked for them.
Right. Or, you know, whatever they're doing. A realtor that can flip houses and they're a millionaire. Like, they're just like, this is the way to go.
Right.
But, you know, it's how they figured out the system and what worked for them on the way there. And, you know, like you said, it's a little more knowledge. Just know that the possibility is there. I mean, I feel like there's no, if you're an investor, at the end of the day, I feel like there's no reason that you can't invest in a little bit of everything
Right. Absolutely.
once you get to that point to be able to.
Well, what do they say about not having all of your toes in the same pond of water?
I feel like it's not all of your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that one. Or your toes, whatever you're feeling. I don't know how far you can spread them, but
If you could spread them to different ponds.
listen, you get the point. You get the point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Eggs in a basket. Yeah.
Well, did you want to talk about your anything with the garden
yeah, actually,
process on the
update.
raised garden beds or?
Yeah, update. So I am going to get more pallets for free tomorrow. I found them on Facebook Marketplace. It's this lady who has a business. She's got a ton of them. And I pretty much just said, hey, are these still available? She said, how many would you like? And I said, probably like 10. And I think that she's got a surplus of them. So if we need more, we can go back. But I'm going to go pick those up. And I was really trying to figure out the cheapest way to do this. And I think what it's going to come down to is obviously free pallets, using the resources that we have that we can get for free. There is going to be some cost. So I'm thinking if we build with they're called raised garden bed, like concrete blocks. You can get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, your regular hardware store. They're the perfect size to slide pieces of wood in between. It's like an X. So you can slide the pieces of wood down and then you can build up, you can build around, put as many as you want down there. I think that they're coming to about $4 a pop. So that's where some cost is going to be. And then I probably am going to do some more in-depth research before I just go and put some stuff on the wood to protect it a little more. I want to make sure that it's not going to run off in the garden. So there's going to be some cost there. But I decided that we're probably going to go by 7x3. And that should be an okay start. Maybe build 1, maybe 2, probably 3 at the max. And I think that that'll be okay. I've got watermelon right now, some zucchini, squash. I would like to try again with some peppers and tomatoes since this last one was a little bit of a fail. But that's what this whole journey is just trying to figure out on a low scale what is going to work for when we do have the land, when we do have more ground space and how to work with it and how many months out do you have to start doing good soil, because in Florida it's completely different than up north. You can plant a lot of things in the ground up north versus down in Florida. The native things don't have an issue growing, but with the soil down here, it's mainly sand, and not everything grows in sand.
Right.
But on top of that, there's a lot coming out now about hydroponics and
aqua and aeroponics and things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
so there's a lot pushing towards the fact that you don't need soil at all, which would honestly, I personally think in the future that's something that I want to look into, because there's a lot of water in Florida. There's a surplus of water. So if I don't want to spend a crazy amount of money on soil, I think having a resource like a pond or something that, it's going to cost money to start it up, but how do we...
The longevity.
the longevity of it. How do you make it work for a long time? Can you feed it from a pond into your system? And even with that, even having soil, you can still do the same thing. You can, ponds collect rainwater. It's consistent. It rains in Florida once a day. Doesn't matter where you are. Around 3:00, there's probably a cloud somewhere that has like steady fall. But yeah, so that's just kind of like an update. Now that we're actually getting the pallets in and I'm gonna be able to break them apart and actually have a good amount of wood to work with. I'm gonna start doing videos on it and stuff. I was just waiting to figure out what we were doing, really.
Yeah,
But
just trying to learn what what the process was going to be and learn where to get the resources at.
Yeah, because that, I mean, honestly, a lot of what we're doing right now is a lot of the footwork, a lot of the backhanded, it's not really a lot of fun, you know, which I guess that's part of what this podcast is actually going through the nitty gritty. But we want to be able to share with you guys the fun stuff too, because life isn't always, you know,
It doesn't always
the
have to
back
be work,
end.
but
Yeah.
you know, we're enjoying it along the way, but it is a lot of reading, a lot of research, a lot of, you know, all your spare time is not filled with the fun things that we normally do.
Yeah.
But we do have a couple trips coming up.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas coming up. Got the poker run the week after that.
That'll be a lot of fun. There'll be,
There'll definitely be footage, definitely be videos.
yeah, I don't know if anybody out there is going to it, but it's the Inglewood Pirate Poker one.
Pirate poker run.
Yeah.
Inglewood Pirate Poker Run.
7 stops altogether. I think 6 are by water and land, and then there's one that's specifically only land that you can
Well,
get
there's
to.
there's one that's basically water only too.
Water, yeah. So you pretty much go around, you grab a drink, you get a poker chip, and then at the end of it, you go play a hand. And I think it's what, $35
For a ticket.
Yeah, for a ticket to start out.
Pre-sale,
You can go
$40 a day of though.
You can go by boat, you can go by motorcycle and automobile. So
Yeah.
it's a good day just to hang out
It
with
is gonna be
friends and
it
go have a
is gonna be a
drink
good day.
and
We got a few people going. It's gonna be a really good. We
yeah,
we
a
had
few
it
people
last
that
year.
we didn't last year. We've met a lot of new people being down here. So I think that it's going to be really exciting to get to know people outside of a work environment and outside of, you know, your normal place that you see these people, and just go have a good day in the sun.
Yeah, and you
gonna
can
be
check out
great.
the other one. Scroll down on the page. You can check out the other one from last year.
From last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2023. It'll be similar this year. It'll be
Except
similar.
better because we've
Yeah.
learned.
Yeah, the footage will be better, but I mean the poker run will be similar.
Yeah, the poker run will be, yeah.
And the final stop will be better because it's on the water this year.
Yeah,
Now
because
that they finished, yeah, they finished one of the docks, so that's gonna be cool. So definitely stay tuned for the trips coming up. Vegas trip is gonna be wild. Is there anything else?
No, I think that's it for me.
Well, thank you guys for joining. Like and subscribe to the page. We appreciate all the support as always. Until next time, guys.
See you next week.